As train journeys go, this one goes remarkably quickly. We set off from Havenstreet at 10:06, arrived in Wooton at 10:13, and head more or less straight back. We're actually a minute late on the outward journey, but no one on the Isle of Wight Steam Railway is counting. The salafing, all-puffing heritage line, part of which my wife and I are sampling, takes 250,000 passengers a year, mostly tourists, on what it calls 10 trips back in time. It's a neat slogan, and it encapsulates the Isle of Wight itself. A holiday there is a reassuring trip back to the 1970s, maybe the 1960s, maybe even the 1890s. That was when the aging Queen Victoria, who loved the island and built herself the grandest of holiday homes there at Osborne House, took a shine to her young Indian servant Abdul Karim. Their intriguing relationship is explored in the newly released film Victoria and Abdul, starring Judi Dench and partly filmed at Osborne. The house, featuring on a new film-inspired island trail, has been superbly restored by English Heritage. What was dignified hasn't been disneyfied. It's an absorbing insight into the Queen's family life and features the stunning Durbar Room, one of the most exotically Indian rooms outside India. We could happily spend a whole day wandering Osborne's corridors and gardens and wondering what Victoria, whose family tree spread its branches far across Europe, would have made of Brexit. But we're on a weekend coach tour, and we have to move on. The tour, taking in some of the island's more mainstream attractions, shows us pleasant downland scenery from the high vantage point of a coach seat and bases us in the comfortably sedate resort of Shanklin. Shanklin has all the usual beach paraphernalia of eating and cavorting places, noted Penthorne Hughes in his 1967 Shell Guide. I've brought the guide along, partly to see how things have changed in 50 years and partly because you have to take notice of a writer called Penthorne. In common with most mature fellow guests at our Hotel 70s Retro, without perhaps setting out to be, we do plenty of eating, but not much cavorting. It's a busy tour. We visit the self-consciously picturesque Chantia Shops village of God's Hill, disfigured by its anxiety to please, wrote Penthorne, an exclamation mark for sightseers. It has a model village, complete with model church, but we walked up the hill for a bit of tranquility at the real church, with its striking medieval wall painting of Christ. It's early in the tour, but Derek, our coach driver, is already well into his stride. We're in safe hands with Derek. Not only is he a superb driver, he also makes sure we don't miss anything important, or indeed anything at all. Here is a block of flats that was once an ice cream factory. Over there is a house built by a scrap metal merchant. To lovely caravan park coming up on the right. Everyone, most of us, take a chairlift and then a boat to view the Needles, the celebrated chalk stacks, and we also visit a garlic farm. Yes, indeed, and it's unexpectedly interesting. You can buy garlic beer tangy, and Garlic-inspired vampires relish blue draught, but bear in mind the warning of the Elizabethan author Thomas Nash: garlic maketh the man winky, drinky, and stinky. And so to the chines, the steep-sided ravines that are a dramatic feature of the island's coast. We visit too. Shanklin Chine, celebrating 200 years as a tourist attraction, and twice visited by Queen Victoria, is a romantic spot, mossy and densely wooded with interesting exhibitions. Commercialized but attractive Penthorne. Further south, Black Gang Chine claims to be the world's oldest theme park, of deep interest to the connoisseur of commercialization. That man again. It has a cowboy town, a Pirate Cove adventure play park, a Valley of the Dodos, and a Rootin' Tootin' Tots play area. We root. We toot. We totter. Back on the coach, Derek points at the site of a nightclub that used to have an alligator pool, and we pass Brading Roman Villa, one of the UK's finest Roman sites. Well worth a visit, he says, as we drive past. He adds that the island once had 94 miles of railways, which brings us back to the Isle of Wight Steam Railway, with its immaculate engines and gleaming green carriages plush with padded seats. It has its own Discovery Centre, a sort of miniature National Railway museum. This is the place for you, if you've ever longed to see an Acme Thunderer Guard's whistle or wondered what a signalman's plunger is. And which of us hasn't? Getting the rest of in McLaren's was a guest of Visit Isle of Wight. Visit isleofwight.co.uk and the Coach Tourism Association. For Isle of Wight tours from Yorkshire, visit vindicacholiday.com. Osborne House 01983 200,022 Englishheritage.org.uk. Osborne.